All right, let's get right into this because what we're about to unpack is one of the most chaotic, high stakes, and just truly unforgettable cricket matches you will ever see. This is the incredible story of the India versus England T20 World Cup semifinal. And this quote right here, it just says it all, doesn't it? How on earth can a team score a monster total like 253 and the match still ends up being a nail-biter? It just doesn't seem possible. But believe me, that's exactly what happened. I mean, just look at that number, 253. In a T20 game, that isn't just a big score. It's a giant, game-over, pretty much unbeatable total. This was the mountain England was staring up at. So how did India even get there? How did they build that massive mountain of runs? Well, it all kicked off with an absolutely explosive display of pure aggression from the very first ball. So picture this. It's a World Cup semifinal, you're in Mumbai, and the home crowd is absolutely roaring. India just fed off that energy. I'm telling you, from ball one, boundaries were flying to every part of the ground. There was no playing yourself in, it was just all-out attack. And you know, while it was a great team effort, there was one player in particular, who was the mastermind, the chief architect behind this incredible score. Sanju Samson. His numbers here really tell you everything you need to know. 89 runs is brilliant on its own, but getting them from just 42 balls, that's just a whole other level. A strike rate of over 211. That means he was scoring more than 2 runs for every single ball he faced. A truly, truly stunning performance. And this really puts it into perspective. India's final score of 253 for 7 wasn't just good. It was in a completely different stratosphere compared to most T20 totals. At this point, I think pretty much everyone watching thought, all right, game over. Let's pack it up. But England apparently had other ideas. Facing what seemed like an impossible task, they came out and launched one of the most audacious, unbelievable counterattacks you will ever see. And it was led by their own hero. And that was Jacob Bethel. Look, if Samson's innings was stunning, this was simply out of this world. 100 in a World Cup semifinal run chase is special, but 105 from just 48 balls, with an even higher strike rate than Samson's, he wasn't just chipping away at the total, he was absolutely blasting it to pieces. So because of Bethel's unbelievable hitting, the impossible suddenly started to feel, well, possible. This match, which should have been over hours ago, was now hurtling towards a finish that was going to shred everyone's nerves. And that was the question on everyone's mind. With the finish line creeping into view, could England really complete the greatest T20 run chase of all time? The pressure was just immense. So yeah, it all came down to the final over. After all those runs, the whole game was going to be decided by just a handful of deliveries. The crowd was on the absolute edge of their seats. You couldn't write it. You could feel it right through the screen. Every single ball was an event. England kept finding a way to get a boundary, getting closer and closer, while India was just desperately trying to hang on. The tension was just completely unreal. So, after all of that, all the chaos, all the boundaries, all the incredible drama, who finally came out on top? And there you have it. After a match that saw a combined total of almost 500 runs, it all came down to this. England, after that heroic, unbelievable chase, finished on 246, just agonizingly short. It all came down to this one number, 7. After 40 overs of absolute cricketing madness, the entire semifinal was decided by just 7 runs. One more boundary somewhere could have flipped the result entirely. That's how razor-thin the margin really was. And so, in the end, it was India who just about held their nerve. They withstood that incredible onslaught from England and somehow, someway, booked their place in the T20 World Cup final. What a classic. And that leaves us with one final and really fascinating question. In a match with 2 absolutely monumental innings, you have Samson's 89 and then Bethel's incredible 105. Who was the real player of the match? Was it the architect of the winning total or the hero who almost pulled off the impossible? I'd love to know what you think.